in the mainframes were actually linked using ISDN, or ISDN lines can handle up to 128K, but normally they keep it around 64. So instead of having one copper pair for every single line that needs to go between office and office, they actually have an ISDN line which can handle a couple of lines. So if one copper pair, two wires, can carry an ISDN, a digitized ISDN signal of 128K, and each phone call required only 8K of bandwidth. Do the math. How many calls can you place? So you needed less physical wires, and everything was digitized. Plus, outband signaling was now phased out. No one can use the blue box. So bye bye blue box. Nice knowing you. Now, with ESS also comes the advent of ANI and ANAC and automated services and touch tone, a whole bunch of great services. Now, go boot down the line a little bit, mid to late 80s, SS7 came out, or Switching Signaling Number 7, which is a set of signaling protocols which are used to set up the vast majority of the world's networking, or telephone network. The telephone network at this point is considered PSTN, or a packet switch telephone network. Now, back in the old days, it was POTS, plain old telephone service. You pick up the phone, you got a dial tone, do some pulse dialing, make a call. Now we're packet switched. Everything's digital. Now, to get everything to conform to standards, they created the SS7. Now, at this point, they were also making something called the ITU, the International Telecommunications Union. So all of you people that really do enjoy my phone phreaking segments would say, wow, I wish this would work here. The only thing that's different nowadays between system and system is your dialing plan. That is it. The way the systems work, where the systems come from, who makes them, and how they're set up are all exactly the same all across the world. So, SS7 was basically a set of codecs and protocols and compression schemes, and basically how to put a uniform telecommunication system together. It also added, it can do more ISDN lines, it has faster transfer rates, but mainly it was a set of protocols. The only bad part of SS7 is it was really not backwards compatible with anything else. So if you had an ESS system, like say an ESS5, and you had a SS7 signaling system, you could only talk to other SS7s. However, this is when the whole world was basically becoming, the International Telecommunications Union. So, after a while, shit got better, computers got faster, bit rates increased, and that's where you have the DMS system, the Digital Multiplex System, which was mainly active in the early 90s, even still today, DMS. What's great about DMS is it can actually incorporate cell phones. You can actually, okay, I've got a DMS system attached to an ESS system, and then plugged into the DMS, we're going to have, we'll have ADSL, we'll have cellular, we'll have voicemail, we'll have, ISDN, we'll have a whole bunch of great stuff, faster speeds, more features. The thing about the DMS system is it's highly configurable, and it uses something called the digital signal level. Now, the digital signal level, or the DS level, will determine how much bit rate can be pumped, in and out of that DMS. Now, SS7, I do believe, can handle tier lines, or T1, T2, Tier 3. Tier 1 being 1.5 meg. T3, I believe, is 3 meg, so on and so on. But you know what? You need more bandwidth for more calls, so the DMS system can actually handle something called fiber optic. Not only can it handle the tier systems, but it can also handle fiber optic connections, or OCs. OCs are considered a synchronous optical network, or a SONET. Now, a synchronous optical network, or it's literally just another type of mainframe and packet technology that just plugs in to the DMS technology. Now, an OC connection can go just as slow as about 52 megs per second, all the way up to about 9,000 megs per second. I mean, it varies. The OC24 can do 1,243 point something megabit per second. And the OC90 does 4,970. And those two are mostly used as the backbones for small ISPs. Large ISPs use the OC192 at 9,955 meg per second. I'm rounding off. I don't know exact numbers anymore. But, and it does go faster than that. Now, the OC connections are basically what nowadays we use to interconnect office to office. So basically, the optical connections are actually better than copper because it doesn't have as much signal loss. Also, it can handle higher bandwidth, and it doesn't erode over time like copper. So this is just some of the signals. Basically, you know, we've been doing voice over IP since the 80s and the early 90s. So when you pick up your phone and you call, your voice is being turned into a digital signal with a codec, compressed, sent down the line, and digitally transferred from office to office, through trunk system, from exchange to exchange, and then converted back into audio. Same thing you do with Ventrilo, Skype, or your other, you know, favorite voice over IP software. Now, everyone's on this new voice over IP craze, but you don't realize that the voice over IP technology that's just hitting us today is just a variant of what has already been existing since the 80s. I mean, the technology is probably older than I am, and everyone's like, oh yeah, you know, voice over IP, voice over IP. If you're on a DSL network, which DSL is also another capability of the DMS system. If you're on a DSL network or an ISDN, or if you're on a regular dial-up, doesn't matter. That digital data is going straight over to the exchange. It's going over to the central office as digital data. So why are they charging you so much money to go and turn your voice into digital data using voice over IP when the phone company's doing it already for you? Maybe because the phone company is a big, huge-ass corporation that's run by money-hungry gluttons that the only thing they want to do is line their pockets with silver and gold. I don't know. But this is just some of the underlying technologies. I did cover a lot. I went over it very briefly. There's a lot more to it, but I'm not going to throw too much numbers at you. I'm not going to throw too much info at you at once. If you want to know more about this, I will definitely have a lot more detailed and structured video. Just goes to show you I don't script shit. I'll have a lot more information in the show notes. Check the website. You can also start talking about this on the forums. I'd like to see more activity on the forums if possible. Or if you really want to go talk to a telephone tough guy, we do have IRC chat, which you can access through the website. Or you can get your favorite IRC client and chat with all of us.